Hi everyone, Greeno here, and welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. So we've now completed the Christmas Gifts of Yesteryear event. Time to start thinking about other things we want to get going in the game. First of which is today, we're going to try and get the All Around the Isle of Beauty achievement, which is picking up all the cities based on the French island of Corsica. So let's go and see how we're going to go and get that done. Delivery brought us over to Corsica. You'll probably remember that fun and games I had getting into the marina here in Bonifacio. Now, there are 6 cities on Corsica. So we've got that one. We've got Porto Vecchio, which is where we came into on our boat. We've got Ajaccio already, and we have Bastia. So there are 2 more that we need to pick up. Calvi here, and L'Île Rousse. Now, it looks like we've got another one of these viewpoints up here. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but it does look a bit like another ferry port. There are no ferries that actually go from there, but we're going to go up and try and take a look at that too. So, the idea is we're going to drive up without any cargo, because I can't find any jobs just on the island. We're going to drive up from Bonifacio, take this road up here, past Ajaccio, pop to Calvi, pop to L'Île Rousse, pick up this little viewpoint, and then maybe head to Bastia. We'll see. Or maybe we'll try and take a job from here or from Calvi. One or the other. And we'll show you that job too, where we're going to try and get back over onto mainland France. So that we can start picking up some of the cities around there too. Obviously these are French cities, so they're going to help towards the achievement for picking up all the French cities. So what I'm going to do is get underway. It's the middle of the night at the moment, so I'm probably not going to show you too much of the drive up in this direction until we get to the viewpoint. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. See if anything interesting happens. It tends to, doesn't it? So I'll get underway and come back when something exciting happens. So we're a fair way into this little drive now. Obviously we don't have a load on the back currently, so we can probably make better time than we would carrying a load, but it's still pretty hard going. I'd forgotten in Corsica just how twisty and windy the roads are. It makes for some pretty spectacular driving, but with the winter weather mods on and the roads being a bit more slippery and braking being a bit more difficult, all these twists and turns are proving a bit challenging. It has to be said. We've had a couple of near misses. In fact, we did have one minor little ding on a roundabout where we were coming out onto a dual carriageway bit of road and someone came up on the inside of me who I didn't spot as I tried to change lanes. So we dinged him a little bit, but no major harm done. But what I do quite like, obviously with these weather mods on, is the scenery here in Corsica. It's quite a rocky, I think, I described it as arid kind of landscape earlier when I was here in the series, when we had the normal weather on. But you put a dusting of snow on it, and it looks great, doesn't it? Really nice. So, we've got about 48 kilometers to go until we hit where the viewpoint should be. So we're going to pick up the next little town of Calvi fairly soon, I'd have thought. So we'll catch up when we hit that. And then it'll be on to L'Île Rousse and where the viewpoint is. Okay, so we have discovered Calvi. That is the 5th of the 6 cities that we need for the All Around the Isle of Beauty achievement. I said it wasn't far away. It was about 5 kilometers down the road, so not far at all. So all we need to do now is make our way through this little town and then up to L'Île Rousse, and we'll pick up that achievement and we'll get to see that new viewpoint. So that'll be pretty cool. So we'll catch up when we get there. Okay. And there we are. That is the All Around the Isle of Beauty achievement completed. We have entered L'Île Rousse, the last of the 6 locations on the island of Corsica that we needed to find.
Go straight on.
So we have wrapped that one up. So all we need to do now is to go on and find where this viewpoint is.
Turn left.
Again, it looks like it's probably going to be a harbour one, a bit like the Marseille one was. So not sure how inspiring it's going to be. Ooh, that's a noise that fills me with fear. I got hit by a tram once, didn't I? So when you hear those level crossing sounds, never quite sure whether you're on one or not. So yeah, gotta be careful. We don't want to be sideswiped by a tram again. But it looks like we're off up here. I think I spotted a lighthouse just up there, so maybe this one will be a little bit more interesting than the Marseille one. There we are, we've discovered the new viewpoint. We just need to go and drive onto it. Yeah, somewhere up there, you see? There's some kind of lighthousey thing up on the top there, so that's pretty cool. So, let's go and have a little look. See what we can find. Where is this little green icon? Just over here on the left-hand side. So we'll park up and we'll have a little look at the cutscene and see what L'Île Rousse is all about. Here we go. So we get to see that little... Well, it's like a ruined castle up there on the hill as well. That's pretty neat. We're liking this. Certainly scenery-wise, it's a bit nicer than the Marseille one was. Not quite sure what the point of this bit is. There's a little blocked-off road going into some building or other. Eolo Lines. Their offices with what appears to be a vending machine in the window there. I think we're supposed to be admiring the lighthouse and the castle more than anything else, aren't we? Obviously on a little island here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's neat. We like that one. A few guys out yachting and what have you. And there's my truck in all its green glory. Obviously there's a little ferry thing there, but I don't think you can pick up a ferry from here in the game. So we're just going to have to turn around and go and find a job. That is the thing we need to do. So I'm going to go off, see if I can find us a little job that will take us back into mainland France. Okay, here is the job that I have found for us to do. Pretty neat because it actually picks up from exactly where we're parked right now. When you look on the external contracts, it gives you 3 or 4 of the towns here on the island because they're all pretty much in close proximity. But I just went into the normal freight market and found this job from L'Île Rousse to Montpellier. So that'll take us back down to the ferry port, across the ferry into Marseille, and then just a short little hop from Marseille over to Montpellier. So I think that's a pretty cool job for us to be doing now. Gonna go and get it hooked up and we'll get underway. Okay, so we have picked up our load of hand iced coffee. You can see here, I don't know if we're going to be able to see the castle behind us if we go for one of these little views. It's probably a little bit dangerous to do on this kind of road. Yeah, look at that, just done 3% damage. Let's get back in the cab, quick. I was hoping we'd be able to pick up that little castle and the lighthouse behind us, but yeah, maybe not such a good idea, eh? Anyway, we've got a bit of a journey ahead of us. It says it's 20 hours, but of course, the vast majority of that is going to be on the ferry. So we just got to make our way down to the ferry port, which is going to be a challenging drive. If you can see there, like on the sat nav, you can see just how windy the roads are going to be. Look out. God, those barriers come down quite late for that train, don't they? They give you a lot of warning. So yeah, so we're just going to get underway, start making our way down towards the port, and we'll come back and have a look at the scenery on the way, because it's pretty spectacular on this little island. So it is a beautiful morning here on Corsica. The sun is shining brightly. It's a little after 9 AM. And yeah, with the winter mods on here, this looks properly lovely, doesn't it? So obviously you will have noticed I have decided to leave the winter mods on for a little while longer. Oh, blimey, oh, wow. €1,100 fine. Jesus. Have a word. That's not very welcome, is it? Yeah, as I was saying, decided to leave the winter mods on for probably just another couple of weeks till the end of January or something like that. it'll start to feel a bit more like springtime then, I guess. So it'll be time to ditch the snow. Unless we head to Norway or something. Always turn it back on again for the odd episode if I want to. But I think it'll feel better going back to normal then. And certainly a lot safer with me driving, that's for sure. Especially in places like this. With the physics mod on as well. It's a bit tricky. Goodness, 30 kilometers an hour. That's why I got caught out with that speeding fine, I guess. It came down to 30 kilometers an hour and I didn't spot it. There we are. But yeah, we're just going to push on. We've got a little way to go to the port. I think probably another couple of hours or so. We've got just about an hour to play with in the sleep meter. I obviously don't want to stop before we get to the ferry, unless something terrible happens along the way, because obviously we can pick up all the sleep and rest we need while we're on the ferry. So as long as I can get there without getting too tired and any terrible fate befalling us, we should be able to make that with a little bit of time to spare, and then make our way onto the boat across to Marseille. That's the plan, so we truck on. Well, I am glad that police car has just overtaken me. He's the one who had me with that speeding fine before, and he just clocked me again. The 50 zone crept up on me without noticing, and I was doing about 58. So it was another €400 fine. So, yeah, we're pleased to let him go past. And hopefully that means we won't pick up too many more fines before we get to the port. We've only got about 40 minutes of that drive left, I guess. So guy's starting to yawn, so it's going to be perfect timing by the time we arrive. So here we are in Porto Vecchio. This is where we're going to catch our ferry to Marseille from. You can see the sleep meter has gone red, so like I said, pretty much ideal timing. This might be the last we see of Corsica in my series, to be honest. I'm not sure there's going to be much reason for us to come back here. We've completed all of the different achievements that I think we can on the islands. We've seen the viewpoint. We don't need to come back to pick up anything for the France achievement that we're going for, Vive la France. So this could be it, which is a bit of a shame because it's quite nice visually. It's a bugger to drive, but it looks good. Anyway, we will say au revoir to Corsica. Go and get on the boat to Marseille. This is quite a long ferry journey, this, so obviously we'll be fully rested by the time we get back. The thing is, it's 12:40 PM now. It's likely to be sometime in the middle of the night by the time we get there. So let's have a little look. It's a 14-hour journey. Okay. So let's embark on that and see what time we arrive into Marseille. 2:41 AM. Okay. So that basically means a good portion of this drive now is going to be in the dark. So I guess I get underway, get out of Marseille. We're not going to bother looking at this viewpoint again because it's one of the dullest ones you're very likely to see. And yeah, we'll catch up when we get a little bit closer to Montpellier once it starts getting light again.
Turn left.
So we're just leaving Marseille, as you can see, and we've made it through unscathed, which is something of an achievement in itself, apparently. I was chatting with Lyle from Dragon's 8 Our Name the other day, who mentioned she had a good friend who was either from or had lived in Marseille, and said it was a city with plenty of kind of no-go areas where even the police don't dare to venture. So obviously no one took a shine to my lorry load of iced coffee. I guess the snowy conditions put people off that a little bit. Maybe if it had been in summertime, it might have taken more of an interest and wanted to hijack my truck perhaps, but it seems we've made it. So we're going to get out onto the motorway, head towards Montpellier. And there we are, Montpellier discovered. So that's the 19th out of 31 cities now for the Vive la France achievement. We are getting closer. Only a dozen left to go. So yeah, first time here in Montpellier. But my auntie Norma lives not too far from these parts, so maybe we'll meet up with her for a nice early breakfast. Who knows? But yeah, the actual drive from Marseille to Montpellier, I'm sure is probably quite nice most of the time, but in the dark and on the only having the motorway, it was pretty dull. You couldn't see anything either side, unfortunately. So yeah, there was no point bringing you back for any of it, really, to be honest. So maybe we'll do the route in reverse at some point when it's a little bit brighter. But for now, obviously, we're going to be trying to get back into central France, probably, and see if we can pick up a few more towns and cities that we haven't seen yet. So the delivery point looks like it's just around the corner here. Left turn into this little yard, is it? Or, yeah, looks that way. Just have to wait for this traffic to either pass or to decide they're going to let us through. No one wanted to let us out, so that's okay. There was no rush. So, let's see what kind of parking jobs are available. Oh, it's a 90 XP. That doesn't look too bad, does it? I think we can do that. Come on, let's give it a go. All we've got to do... Oh, there is something for us to pull it alongside, but I think we've got room to swing around here. So then all we'll actually have to do is kind of just back it in. So if we get fairly close up here, and then just kind of try and turn it around, get as close over to this side as we can, straighten it up. It should just be a case then of backing into the space. So we can see it pretty much directly behind us there. If I straighten up the wheel... I think I've straightened up the wheel. No, I haven't. Let's stop and start that again. Right, now it's straightened up. So... should just be a case trying not to mess that up. Getting it relatively straight. Which we're not doing particularly well. There we go. Could be worse, I reckon. Just swing it around a bit. Fairly hard lock and then straighten back up again. Come on. Let's get it in there, shall we? I don't think I've got it close enough, unfortunately. So I think we're going to have to pull forwards a little bit. Just get a little bit further over this way. Okay. No mucking about. Just go straight and hope it gives it to me. There we go. Perfect. Easier than I made it look the first time, that's for sure. Okay, so we've picked up only about 13,000 euros there, and we did lose about 1,500 euros in fines too. So not the greatest job in the world, but at least we got the achievement completed and we're back into mainland France. That was the two main objectives for today. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I think it was a good one. If you did, drop a like on there for me, please. It would help me get seen by more people. And if you got any comments about today's episode, the series as a whole, or any tips you've got for me getting around France, I would love to see them in the comments section below. And don't forget, if you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet, go ahead and do so. Set your little bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the content coming up. Well, it just remains for me to thank you for watching, and I will see you soon for some more action here with Euro Truck Simulator 2. Bye for now.